The most important thing for us, man, I wanted us to play fast, physical, and violent, and truly compete. And I did feel that way in all three phases. The offense really showed up today, big time. It was, there again, you get Jonah back and Frank, and David's back, and Gibbs, and we got everybody. St. Brown and Golf really stepped up, made some big throws. So the offense really stepped up, and just stayed in phase. Defensively, we played really good early, and then they started getting us in a little bit of this no tempo, and we just got to clean up the composure a little bit and get the call, get lined up, and let's just play ball. But that'll all be stuff that we correct, but man, it's a good win. We found a way.
It seemed like one of those games where the team with the ball last was probably going to win it. Did you think that way? And
well, we had the ball last.
And just take us through the 4th and 2 call with that kind of mindset in mind.
Yeah, I wanted to finish with the ball, and I trusted our guys and trust Golf. There's, they'd had going into that situation. If you don't, there's gonna be a lot of time left. You kick a field goal. So I wanted to finish with the ball in our hands. I liked where we were at offensively. We were playing good. Golf was in a good spot, and I felt like that was the right thing to do.
It may seem obvious. I don't think a lot of people would agree it was the right thing to do, but it's still gutsy to do that. You had a game-winning field goal there for the take, potentially a field goal there for the take.
Well, to each his own, and some say it's a boneheaded move, and some say it's not. And I made the decision, and I stick by that decision.
A little bit, you get David Montgomery back, obviously mixing them in with Gibbs, and just getting that going. What was your impressions of what they were able to do together today?
Listen, that to me, this is part of the vision coming to life, man. Is those two back there, the two-headed monster, and they both deliver something different, and they're both very unique, and they're dangerous, both of them. So it's good to see that, and Gibbs continues to grow, and it's great to have David back. He played at a high level. And then the O-line, man, really showed up today. It's what we talked about, playing physical, finishing, playing violent. Those guys were outstanding in protection and in the run game.
Is it easier to make that call on 4th and 2?
You guys are still on the 4th down. Keep going. All right.
This is a callback. To go with that, when they've scored on 5 straight possessions, knowing that your defense is struggling today, that you kind of maybe don't even have an option, right? That you have to.
Yeah, I felt like it was the right move. Let's just say my mind doesn't go there, but let's just say we don't get it. They were going to have a lot of time left anyway. They do, but I got 3 timeouts, so they get in field goal range or whatever. And I feel like, hey, we'll bang them, and then you answer back for a tie. But I just felt like, hey. I just felt like the right thing to do was to go for it there and finish with the ball in our hands, get the first down, drain the clock, and let Riley go in there and hit it. We were, that was a kick that was well within his range, and so that's why I did it.
Focusing on the 4th down question again, going back a few minutes ago, you said the word trust. You trust this group. Where does that trust with this offense stem from?
Well, this group's been together for the most part for a while. There's really the new pieces are really Montgomery and Gibbs. I guess you could say Laporta, but Laporta, Gibbs, they've all and Montgomery have all proven that they're reliable pieces for us. The rooks have grown every year, and we have a lot of trust in all those guys. The O-line's the same, Golf's the same, St. Brown's the same, Josh Reynolds is the same, Khalif Raymond. So I've seen these guys function. I know how Ben Johnson will call a game if we want to play this way, and I believed it was the right thing to do, and I thought we'd get it.
Yeah, focusing on the moments you can draw on later, a game like this, winning down the stretch on the road against a tough team.
Yeah, I think I got to ask a little bit earlier about it's you win close games, low-scoring games, but to win a shootout, this is one of those things we haven't done a lot of is win the close shootout, and so. I think every time you win, and no matter how you got to get it done, you learn from it and you gain something out of it. The good and the bad you gain. So yeah, it certainly does. Who was talking to me? I'm sorry, Jason.
That's fine. We're focusing on the last 4th down, but this was a game 4th down. day.
Got it.
No, I mean, there was 8 or 9 times between the two teams. Dave asked you earlier in the week with Staley's aggressiveness, your aggressiveness. Was that the game plan going in, was that you knew you kind of had to keep your foot on the gas that whole way, or did it develop as you got a feel for things?
I felt like, look, a lot. It's a question you asked me a little bit, right? What's your name?
Lindsay, ESPN.
Hello. Sorry. And we got our guys back, and we're at full force right now. And I have a ton of confidence in that offense and Ben Johnson calling that offense. Golf behind center, that O-line, the backs, the receivers. And so it just, and with where that game was at and what we were walking into, I just felt like it was the right thing to do. I told them all week we were going to play aggressive, and I wanted us to be ready to go. And we were, that was kind of part of the message, our demeanor and the way we were going to coach and play. We were going to be aggressive.
Should that mindset play into the shot play to Brock Wright? I mean, knowing you had maybe 2 shots at it with 1 yard.
Yeah, I would say that played into it. That was something we thought would be there, and I would say it did.
Sorry, Dan. Just the play of St. Brown, just 156
He's a
yards,
stud.
career high. I mean, just seems like every week with this guy.
He's a stud. He just continues to make plays. And I've said it before, I'll say it again. I mean, he is the most steady, reliable guy that you can find in this league. I mean, I'd love to know somebody that is more reliable than him, because I don't know if there is. So he just does what he's supposed to do times 10, and he's productive. He's tough. He's physical. He's a game-changing type player. And it's just, the bigger the moment, the bigger he shows up. And it's just, you talk about that word trust. There's a tremendous amount of trust for him, in him, and what he's able to do. And golf has a ton of trust in him as well. So he's a stud. It's that simple.
With the performance of Jared Goff today, where do you see that put him in the conversation with the best quarterbacks in the league, with what he's able to do, backing up again with another performance like today?
Look, all I know is he's playing at a high level for us, and we're winning games because of him. So I would say he's certainly up there. I don't know who that would be, but I like our guy. And I've said it before, I'll say it again. We got a quarterback, and thank God we do. So
You mentioned the offensive line a couple times, specifically Jonah ran behind him a couple times early with some pulls. He really helped key some of those big runs. What did it mean to have him back, and how do you think he played?
It was good to have him back. He does bring an athleticism. There's some power that certainly he brings, but the athleticism on the perimeter, his ability to pull is something that really helps us, and that whole line's no different than the other pieces we have on it, man. We play to their strengths, and we were unique in that way. When you've got a guy like Decker and Jonah, Sewell, Frank, like you play to your strengths, and they can do a lot of different things athletically and in the run game, schematically, that not everybody can do. And so when you got them all back and they're all playing a high level, you use them and let these runners go.
I'm curious, after a big win like this, emotional, I don't know, are you spent on the plane ride home? Do you crash out? Do you celebrate? What is the aftermath of a win like this?
Yeah, normally this will be one of those I just melt in my seat probably a little bit. I'm not. I say I won't. I usually try to stay away from the tape till in the morning because I don't want to grate off emotions. But I may peak it. It's a long one back, but I can tell you this: it always feels a lot better after a win. We're this whatever it is, 4 or 5 hours. It's much better after a win than it is when you don't come away with a game like that. So I was proud of the guys, man. They really showed up and found a way to win that game.